I'm just going to tell you very, very quickly, you want convenience, this is one The Sun today, referring to, you can now get scrambled eggs, pre-scrambled in a bag, ready to go.
How long does it take to scramble an egg? Possibly 2 minutes?
Microwave method, open pack, put in microwave,
Microwave it.
Microwave, oh, just rubbery, yeah.
And if they've even got the recipe here, traditional method, it goes melt the butter, put it in a pan, add a bit of milk,
You think you're cracking into a farm-fresh breakfast when you order eggs at your favorite diner, but what if that sunny yellow is just factory efficiency in disguise? IHOP, Denny's, even Panera are quietly trading cracked shells for liquid cartons and frozen pucks. The result? Eggs that bend before they break, with a texture that feels more like plastic than protein.
Bed and breakfast business, eggs are an essential component of that breakfast, and now they find themselves scrambling to be able to keep up, serving guests during this egg inflation crisis. As Fox 5's Richard Jacobus tells us, the owners of one inn in upstate New York claims to have cracked the code.
We used to buy 5 dozen at a time, and they were about $30. Now, to buy 5 dozen is about $75.
Bird flu has sent the cost of eggs soaring, leaving some supermarkets with empty shelves. The tables are set and the sizzle has begun in the kitchen.
Hey, like your egg, over medium?
The most important meal of the day is about to be served, but for innkeepers Bill Signor and Joe Campone, they're starting to feel just a bit scrambled.
Stick around, because once you see how these eggs are really made, you might think twice before ordering that next omelet. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
It's those eggs that keep the inn at Stony Creek running.
If everybody wants an omelet, it's 21 eggs just at breakfast alone.
Joe and Bill have been running this historic bed and breakfast in the quaint town of Warwick for a quarter century. They pride themselves on keeping an overnight stay on the more affordable side. Come spring, the hen house in the backyard will be ready to go with its own chicken coop.
It's going to take about 3 to 6 months to raise them.
In the long run, it will save these innkeepers money, but the cost of eggs isn't helping. And so, they've hatched a plan.
You know, we just decided that we need to get chickens again.
If your eggs at a diner look perfect but taste off, there's a reason, and it starts long before they hit your plate. The truth is, that fluffy yellow scramble advertised as freshly cracked is often anything but. At places like IHOP and Denny's, what's poured onto the griddle isn't from a shell at all. It comes from a plastic carton filled with liquid eggs, pre-mixed in a plant, flavored and tinted to keep them looking convincingly golden. You're paying diner prices for something closer to the kind of bulk product served in cafeterias or hospitals. Those cartons make the kitchen run like clockwork. During breakfast rushes, cooks pop open gallons of ready-to-use egg mix and pour it straight onto the grill. No cracking, no shells to toss. It's an operation built for speed and cost control.
So McDonald's says it's doing this because they got a flood of requests from people on social media especially asking them to extend breakfast, and so the company responded, and today's the date. They're offering breakfast all day long. Good morning, I'll take a sausage McMuffin with egg, a medium coffee black please.
Medium hot coffee black and a sausage, egg and cheese muffin, would that be all?
That's it. Now they're not just doing this to be nice to customers, obviously, because the company's had a lot of problems over the past couple of years. They lost their CEO, had a CEO change earlier this year.
The sound of sizzling eggs is still there, but the freshness behind it has quietly disappeared. The eggs are standardized, each pour cooks the same way, ensuring that the omelet you get today matches the one on the menu photo, even if the mix was processed days ago. The uniform color, that smooth texture, they're not signs of quality. They're results of food chemistry. Those liquid blends are engineered for convenience. Inside the mix is a cocktail of stabilizers to keep it from separating and color boosters to keep the shade sunny. The additives help the mix survive long storage and heavy handling, but they do something else too, they change the texture. Instead of turning creamy or tender on the griddle, it turns spongy and stiff. One customer described eggs that bounced against their teeth. Another called them yellow foam. They're not exaggerating. That rubbery feel is a direct result of industrial efficiency. Diners who love the ritual of breakfast, the smell of butter, the sound of shells cracking, are often fooled by the perfect plate. The scramble looks flawless, but take a bite and it springs back like a kitchen sponge. Light, airy, but hollow. All bounce, no flavor. It isn't your taste buds losing touch, it's the manufacturing process masking what used to be an honest ingredient. Fresh eggs carry subtle flavor, gentle sweetness, and moisture that seeps into toast or bacon beside it. The processed mix. It's flavor neutral, intentionally so, because factories design it to behave the same in any pan across thousands of kitchens. In busy shifts, that uniformity is gold. Cooks stack gallon jugs near the grill for easy refills, often left unrefrigerated as rush orders pile up. When eggs sit at room temperature in those conditions, the margin for safety shrinks fast. Seniors, who make up a big portion of the breakfast crowd, trust chains like these for dependable, simple meals. What they don't realize is that the eggs described as farm fresh can sit in warming trays or pans for hours, drifting down into the danger zone where bacteria thrives. The shine stays, but the safety doesn't. At Denny's in particular, employees have described trays of scrambled eggs waiting in metal pans through multiple meal waves. Over time, heat breaks the eggs down, drawing out moisture until each scoop becomes dry on top, watery underneath, and strangely plastic-like on the fork. By the time it reaches your table, it's been revived with butter or a spritz of oil to fake freshness. The flavor disappears along with the last bit of moisture. Seniors who came in hoping for something warm and nourishing end up with food that's just as weary as the warming pan itself. On the surface, it looks efficient. The griddles stay full, orders fly out, customers stay seated. But that convenience hides a subtle trade-off: speed over substance. Crack an egg by hand and you can control everything from temperature to tenderness. Pour it from a jug and you're just feeding a machine that's feeding tables. The taste and safety become secondary to volume and marketing. Breakfast turns into a product, not a meal. Eating these versions of scrambled eggs is like biting into a sponge soaked in dye, bright, bouncy, and empty. The illusion of freshness works because it looks the part, even as flavor fades and nutrition takes a back seat. That's the quiet genius of the system, the appearance of care without the cost of it. Once you know how it's done, you start spotting the signs immediately: the identical folds, the uniform stiffness, the suspiciously smooth color across every plate. IHOP and Denny's helped perfect this model, but they're hardly alone. Cafes that promise made-to-order breakfasts, drive-through chains known for morning sandwiches, even health-conscious brands use the same formula: liquid convenience packaged as craftsmanship. It's the breakfast assembly line, scaled to millions of plates, running quietly beneath the clatter of coffee cups and syrup bottles. And the deeper you look, the more you notice that nearly every chain serving eggs today has joined the same industrial routine. Freshness at most chains is theater. Unless you see the shells crack right in front of you, that golden omelet probably started in a factory vat. You might notice the signs: the same texture every time, eggs shaped too neatly, flavor that fades after a few bites. Those aren't quirks, they're cues of a mix reheated or poured by the gallon. Next time you order breakfast, look past the syrup and steam. Ask what's really being served and hold them to it. Transparency is simple when ingredients are honest. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets.